I run the Mormon channel out in Utah.
Anybody watching that channel is just like, is this a joke?
Oh,
Like,
well,
that's his comedy channel.
Oral
Is this
Roberts.
supposed to be funny?
When did Oral Roberts start having a good show?
Okay, I think it's working now.
Yeah, it is.
Nah, Jimmy Swaggart, they would ask too many questions. Okay, it's just Jimmy. All right. For those of you who know who Jimmy Swaggart is, thank you.
Okay.
All right.
We're finally live in the right place now.
Right.
For a second, we were live on another YouTube channel they have.
That's right.
But hey, it's a great time to plug it.
That's right.
You know?
Hey, we just kind of pirated their network. Oral Roberts.
Well, no, it's my YouTube channel. It's called John Hickok TV. I basically created it so that I could play video games and cuss.
That's right.
I've always wanted to do that on the internet.
That's right. Of course, that never happens.
Yeah. This channel's clean, so I thought,
That's
hey,
right.
I'll start another channel and I'll just cuss on it and play video games.
There you go. By God.
Because sometimes when you play video games, you just need to say
Yeah,
swear words. You know?
like the famous guy that I had back on Bragg that you think you're into your games. This guy, I think it was.
'Cause I'm not like a hardcore gamer by any means. Like I literally just sort of got back into it recently. But
this individual, he was so into his gaming that he played with his helmet and vest on.
oh yeah, maybe tell me that.
That guy was hardcore.
That's funny.
That's hardcore. That's a dedicated man.
Well, speaking of video games, World War III is upon us.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. We got to do that show. Like I told you, Big John. It's the Big John show, Damascus.
Yep. Yeah.
We did. We got to do it, man. From a roadside tent.
Yeah.
Big sign, in English, Damascus city limits. Of course, of course, it's English. Of course.
You know what's creepy is that the Assad guy, he sort of looks a little bit like my dad.
Dude, yeah, all right, I'll leave that alone.
Just like a little bit.
Man. Heck yeah, then we gotta do that. We gotta go.
Yeah.
As soon as we conquer, liberate.
Yeah.
Syria.
Yeah. That's right.
We need to go ahead and set up. Bring the American way to them, by
right. Yeah. We always have to call it liberation, otherwise,
not conquer. No.
Yeah.
We bring them liberation. Yes.
Right. Yeah. Exactly.
Right, yeah. Yeah. Sure. Yeah.
Yeah. But it's a mess right now in the media. Everyone's talking about it and everything, and it's a big deal. I mean, we launched a pretty decent attack. Everyone's thinking whenever there's a military action that people disagree with, they always talk about the expense of it.
Yeah, the only real problem they had with it was that the president didn't consult with Congress before he launched the attack.
Right.
The president can do anything he needs to in defense of the United States, but bombing the crap out of some Syrian airfield is not necessarily in the defense of the United States.
Right. We weren't attacked. Yeah.
No, exactly. So some of the congressmen felt like he should have consulted with Congress first. And like we talked about before, one of the real issues they had is that the air base is in a Russian-controlled area to include Russian-controlled airspace. And the Russians, I'm trying not to say Ruskies. Cold War soldier here.
Yeah. You should get one of those. I've seen them before for sale. They have Cold War veteran hats.
Yeah, yeah, I'm an old guy.
Just like the Vietnam vet hats, but it's like Cold War.
Cold War guy.
Yeah.
Okay, that's kind of broad. That's kind of broad. The Cold War, 50 years. Okay.
Yeah.
But the problem is that the Russians said that again it's Russian controlled airspace. So I think Trump did the only thing he could do, which was send cruise missiles in there, because if he'd send actual aircraft, the Russians made it very plain. We ain't got time to decide, who's who, or we're just going to react to protect ourselves. So I think the cruise missiles was about the best thing he could have done and get the message out. He sent, 50 of them in there?
Yeah, I think, something like that. Or maybe it was...
It was 50
or 7, something like that. It was a bunch. Yeah,
he knocked off a Syrian general. So okay, we'll see. And all this was set off because the Assyrians gassed some folks,
right? Yeah,
especially a hospital with kids in it.
Yeah. I mean, bad, horrible stuff. Yeah. So that's the age old argument that will live on forever. Is should America, be the cops of the world? Like it was an attack. That attack was about punishment. It seemed like it wasn't really about protecting us necessarily. I mean, it was an awful thing that,
It was
that they
punitive.
did, supposedly.
It was
but
punitive to punish the people that launched this gas attack. Gas, poor man's nuke, which is a poor man's nuke. Gas is not a chemical agent. Sorry, let's use the proper term. Chemical agent is not a real danger to people if you're prepared for it. It's more of an annoyance.
Right.
In the Army, you got your chemical suits, your M256 alarm, chemical detection kits. You got your M8 chemical alarms out there. So, long as if you're expecting it, it's not a real danger. But if you're not, you're just sleeping in the sack one night, and all of a sudden somebody pops some gas.
It's a horrible way to die.
You wake up and all of a sudden you can't breathe.
Yeah. Your insides are burning.
And you're vomiting, you're throwing up. And the Army gives you these auto injectors full of atropine. What they got, this big, it's an auto injector. It's about that long with a big needle in it, full of atropine. It's meant to, you put it on the side of your leg, hit it, and it'll go through your clothing into your leg. It's gonna hurt, but it's like die or stick this big needle in me. Okay. There's a needle.
Like that scene in Pulp Fiction.
Exactly. So if you got a choice between dying, suffocating to death,
what's it do? How's it
atropine? It counteracts the chemical agent.
Okay, and it actually so if you're in a chemical environment, it can actually save you.
Yes, it will. And
even if you continue to be in that chemical environment.
Well, it's good. Well, you need to hopefully get out of the chemical environment.
Yeah, okay. It doesn't make you impervious to it, right?
No. Hopefully it'll counteract stuff long enough so that you can get your mask on, get your chemical suit on, and then get out of the area.
Okay.
Again, chemical agent ain't that big a deal as long as you're aware of it. If you're not, you got a problem.
Yeah.
And you're right, it's a hell of a way to go.
Yeah.
Speaking of Battlefield 1, when the Germans used chemical agent, which was what they used?
Mustard gas, right?
Gas, for the first time. These French North African troops that they used it on had no idea what that green fog was coming toward them.
Yeah. And
they inhaled that, and people just threw their guns down and ran like rabbits.
Yeah.
So I think the first time that the first defense that they had for it, the British used. I read a story once that the British guy, he said the way you need like a filter, something to filter out the dangerous element of the gas.
Yeah.
So he got this idea. God knows where he came up with this. He took a handkerchief, peed in it, put it on his mouth, and it worked. It worked well enough to save you. Hey, hey, dude.
Is it like some kind of chemical in urine or something?
I could tell you, but it filtered out the deadly, the poisonous element. I guess the urine. The ammonia.
Maybe so.
Yeah. Filtered out the poisonous element of the mustard gas.
What if the rag was all that was doing it? The pee was just like,
hey, dude, you didn't need to pee in it. Who told you that?
It's like, wait a minute, you guys haven't been peeing on the rag?
Okay, I was messing with you. You don't have to pee in.
Those World War I pranksters, man.
Hey, you're alive. What do you want? What do you want? I really the Germans had Hitler was gassed in World War One.
Yeah, I was actually reading about that recently.
And he lost his sight for a couple of weeks, and that's why people believed he was absolutely against the use of. Believe it or not, Hitler thought use of gas was against soldiers. That's cruel and unusual.
Yeah, that's for civilians. That's
Dude, get away with that joke. But he didn't believe that he should use gas on the battlefield, because he'd been gassed in World War One.
Right. Also,
he believed that the Allies and the British stated very plainly that if you gas anybody, we're gonna hit you hit you back twice as hard. So and the Americans said the same thing too. You use gas, dude, we're gonna fog up the whole country.
Yeah.
So again, I don't know how humane, if it was a humanity thing or his experience, but Hitler was absolutely against using chemical agent against soldiers.
Yeah. Super ironic.
I know, very ironic. Yeah. I read this guy a book called Curahee, about a guy that was in the 506, the Band of Brothers.
Yeah. And isn't that the name of the hill?
Mountain at Camp Toccoa, Georgia. Yeah.
Yeah, that's right.
And he ran up about 100 times a day.
Yeah, jeez.
He was 18 years old, and he was in Normandy. And he said, we're in a trench. They were fighting the SS. And they say he looked out. He saw this smoke crawling along the. It was yellow smoke hugging the ground real close, coming toward him. He thought gas, but like everybody else in the Army, they threw away that gas mask because who's going to need this?
Oh yeah.
You know, who's going? And he says, "I just threw away my mask. I'm done." So he held his breath. And he thought, "Okay, it's over. It's done. Let's just get over with." He took a deep breath. Nothing. It was a smoke grenade. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, dude. Oh, what a relief.
Yeah, that's terrifying. I know that was the thing is everybody threw it. Even my I had two grandfathers that were in the war, and the one was in the Pacific Theater. I remember him telling a story about how they all threw their gas masks in the ocean because they were just like,
"It's gonna need this."
Yeah, we're not gonna need it. And then there was some report that there might have been gas, or they needed it, or something like that. I don't know the historical context for that, but I just remember him telling me that story. That later on, they thought they would need it. And they were all like going back trying to find them.
Well, yeah, I mean, see, when the Army got smart, what they do now is that they make you sign for it. If you lose it or can't turn in, you got to pay for it. So, you know what? I'm not going to use this, but I'm going to keep it.
They're probably smaller, right? More compact.
The M24 mask, yeah. I ain't gonna lie. I use mine for a pillow.
Yeah.
For a year until I got an actual pillow. My gas mask was my pillow.
That's funny.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's close to you at least.
Yeah, it's like right here. I know where it is.
Just sleep in your gas mask.
I kept inside the case and I used it for a pillow until I finally went to the little Iraqi store and bought me one of them big Iraqi pillows or whatever, the big thick blankets that you don't know where the material came from. But
yeah.
That's
interesting. Because I guess if you're in a gas environment, if you're in one too long, it's like you can't eat or drink with a gas mask on.
Yes,
right?
there's the Army teaches you ways to like the M24 has a little tube and that comes out of the mask and it goes into the special cap, NBC cap, nuclear biological chemical for all you veterans out there. It goes to the top of your canteen. You turn it upside down and drink. They probably use something else now.
Yeah.
I'm sure how old I am now. Well, back in the day, they had the M24 mask.
It's some kind of like a wireless. It's like a wireless hydration system.
One big, like fishbowl helmet. Like from a 1952 movie.
Yeah.
That's probably what they use now.
But, in the future there'll be like some kind of thing that you like have on your stomach. And you like program a cheeseburger and you're like, that was good.
One little pill comes out. Well, yeah, I'm probably dating myself describing this mask. But, everybody hated NBC training, nuclear biological chemical training, because it sucked, because you get in that hot suit and you sit around in it and it's hot, uncomfortable, and you sit there. No.
Yeah.
Until you get to like 1990 and Saddam says, "Oh, he's got gas. Oh, okay. Where's my NBC suit at?"
Yeah.
So they trained harder. In fact, it was the hardest that the Army trained for chemical warfare since World War I. Yeah. So, nobody wants to go out like that. And with all the training and all the alarms and detector kits they got, the last ditch thing that they teach you to do after you've done all this is you have to select somebody to take their mask off and take a breath of air. And it's usually that low-ranking guy or the guy nobody likes.
Yeah.
You take your mask off. Take a deep breath. Okay, you're all right. All right. Okay, everybody else. Okay, it's cool.
Yeah. I've heard people that I've known that have gone through basic training and had to do the gas chamber thing.
Yeah.
They said that like, I had a guy I used to work with was in the Navy and they had to do the same thing.
Yeah.
And he said he was sick through the whole basic training. He had a bad cold and was really sick and just felt terrible the whole time. But then after that, he felt great.
Oh yeah,
it was like it was just all gone.
It cleans you out. As I learned to my distress, they give you instructions before you go in there. They're like, okay, all right, before you go in there, you're gonna go ahead and go in there with your mask on, and then you're gonna take it off. You're gonna take a deep breath, take it off, and then say your name, social security number, and then walk out. Okay, easy enough. Unfortunately, I got the sequence of events in the wrong order. So I walked in there, and the thing that threw me off in the first place is that you'll see it. Tear gas. It's clear. It's invisible. You don't see anything. I don't know, what was I expecting? Like a green mist coming up off the floor.
Yeah.
You don't.
I thought you could see tear gas.
No. Really? Whatever gas they used, which was tear gas, I'm sure.
Okay.
You walk in there, and it's a room just like this, and you don't see anything. You're like, is there anything in here? You see a little pot boiling off in the corner.
Okay.
Which they're cooking off that gas is what they're doing.
Yeah.
And I didn't see anything. So they said, all right, get ready. And go. No, that's what I messed up. I took the mask off first, then took the deep breath. Now I got a lung full of gas. I'm on the ground. I'm kicking. I'm screaming. I'm running around, crashing in the walls. I'm drooling. And then they say, dude, what the hell did you do? I took my mask off, took a deep breath. Okay, you're wrong. Deep breath first, then mask off. So, I got it right the second time, and they did make me go in there and do it again. So all that is to make you have confidence in your equipment. That's all it is, and it works. Thank God.
And I've heard to like not panic in the gas environment, right? If you start feeling some effects, or something, you're gonna panic anyways.
You gotta be aware of it, and you gotta be aware of it.
Yeah.
And if you keep your head, you'll be fine. But you never know how you're gonna act once you're there.
Yeah.
And if you're thinking, choking to death, suffocating. Yeah, that's a hell of a way to go.
Oh, man, yeah.
Now, hopefully somebody around you says, hey, look, he's got symptoms of gas, of chemical agent contamination. And they come over there and they put the auto ejector in your leg. Hopefully that's what happens, but
man.
but they're probably gonna be freaking out. They're thinking, this guy just got hit by gas. Let me put my stuff on, which is what they should do. Yeah.
Think about those guys that experienced the gas attacks for the first time in World War I. How just bizarre that must have seemed at the time. I mean, if you think chemical warfare still feels kind of like futuristic in a way, even though it's been around for a long time. There's something about it that feels very like post-apocalyptic world, like futuristic kind of. I don't know, just something weird about it.
It's again, it's scary because it's odor. A lot of times, depending on what kind of agent they use, it is odorless and colorless. So you're just sitting here one day, and your guy kills over. That's what's really scary about it. And there were cases where people get contaminated, the gas get trapped inside their uniform, and you gotta be sitting there. All of a sudden, he just steams up inside your bunker. Get him out now. So, it's scary. It's very scary, like Ebola. People don't understand it. It's not. They're not familiar with it, so they're terrified of it.
Yeah.
So, and it's easy to make too. Oh my God.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Let's not give our ISIS listeners any ideas.
That's right. They're like, they're sitting in the Damascus going, what was that? Yeah, she didn't know ISIS watched. They listened to your show. Yeah.
They like got a notepad. They're like,
hey, there's no joke. The minute that happens, ATS at your door. What's this about your fans in Damascus? Whoa, dude. I can't determine who watches this show.
Yeah, that's what's weird about just the world today is you have, people like that, listening to shows and watching YouTube videos and stuff like that. Like there might be ISIS members that are like fans of PewDiePie or something. You know what I mean?
Why not? Why not? Oh, the infidels, but I love PewDiePie. I love her. She's okay.
PewDiePie. You ever seen that dude?
Nope.
He has the largest YouTube channel in the world. He has, like, for some perspective,
what's he do?
Dad and I have 2.5 million subscribers.
Okay.
And this guy has like 5.4 or 5 million. 55 million.
What's he do?
Basically, he started doing video game stuff, and he mostly does like video game related videos and different things like that. He got. I don't know if I talked to you about this or not. He was recently in like a lot of trouble because of something he did. So he got this idea, which it's like really wrong, but kind of funny at the same time. Okay. So he had this idea. Have you heard of the website called Fiverr before?
Yeah, I think so, yeah.
Yeah, where you like basically these people offer different services for $5 or different prices. Okay. But so he found all these different people in all over the world and would try to get them to do ridiculous things, right? Because he thought it would be funny.
Okay,
right?
You got me now. Okay, I see where this is going already.
Okay. And most of them like declined, right? They were like, no, we're not going to do that.
It's not like Jackass.
Yeah. Kind of, sort of, I guess. I can't remember what all of them were, but there was one that got all the publicity. There was this one group of people. They were somewhere in South America, right? And their thing was they would sort of like, they wouldn't have any shirts on. There were these dudes, and they would dance around in the kind of like a jungle-looking area holding up these signs, and it would say whatever you wanted them to say, right?
Okay.
And I don't, somewhere in South America is the best I can guess. So what he got them to do, it's so terrible.
Okay.
He got them to hold up a sign that said "Death to all Jews."
Oh, okay, all right, yeah.
And so like he's like they're like holding it up, they don't even know what it means.
Yeah, they're like it's in English, and they're like, what's this? He said write this. I don't know what. Okay.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
And so he wasn't like proud of it. Like the whole idea was like he knew people wouldn't do it, but he thought it would be funny to like try to get people to do these crazy things.
Until somebody
right?
did it.
Right, and then someone actually did it, and he showed it on his YouTube channel.
Dude, where's your editor?
And,
yeah.
And so, you know, it became this huge deal. Right?
Yes.
There was all this backlash and everything.
Oh yeah.
And it's become a big issue in, you know, like what lines are okay to cross and different kind of things. You know, my thing is, like, I don't want to I don't want to see people's feelings hurt.
Okay.
But I do feel like there's a certain amount of I don't know what's the right word, like creative license that people should be allowed to have. Like, was anyone actually hurt by that?
You shouldn't be offended by it. Okay, before, let's preface this.
And he wasn't saying that he was like, and that's the thing.
I'm not saying, yeah.
He wasn't even saying that this is an awesome thing. Look at this cool thing I got them to do.
That's right. No.
Like, if you watch the video,
I don't think so.
No. Well, like, if you watch the video, which I watched it, and he is almost borderline embarrassed that they actually did it, but he felt like he had to show people the video.
Okay, I would have had a separate segment before I showed that.
Yeah.
Look, I didn't think they'd actually do it.
Yeah.
I don't think this is right.
And that is sort of what he did.
Okay.
That is sort of what he did.
Before you watch this.
Right, yeah.
Hey.
Yeah. And it doesn't help that he's like, you know, where is he from? He's like Swedish or something, so he kind of looks like a Nazi, you know.
Okay, Aryan looking.
Yeah. I mean, he's not racist, you know.
Of course
he's obviously
he's Swedish. Come on.
Yeah, he's a good dude, clearly, you know,
All right.
smart dude, and has a cool YouTube channel or whatever. And he just kind of went over a line of sorts, but
okay,
you know,
one thing I've realized since I've been hanging out with you all these years is that on YouTube, apparently the outhouse and the penthouse are on the same floor.
Yes, that's so true.
One wrong move. Okay, it's over, man.
Yeah,
it's over, man.
That's a great way to put it. It's so true. That's exactly how it is. Yeah, for better or for worse, that's exactly how it is.
That's right. Yeah, come on. Now you roll them dice, buddy.
Yeah.
Hey.
But, you know, I do think our society is you know, it's good that our society has become more progressive and sensitive to certain things.
Yes.
But I don't feel like censorship is necessarily good.
You can't
know?
go too far the other way. You know?
Right.
I think you have to be tolerant, be able to take a joke.
Right.
Hey, come on now. But also be sensitive to people's feelings too.
Right.
Hey.
Yeah.
Like I heard Bill Maher said, the only people that can really take a joke in America are Christians.
Oh, yeah.
I don't think you take a joke anymore. Everybody was like, what?
Yeah. And the thing is, people forget about this little concept called irony. You know? It's like some things are said to be ironic. They're not meant to, like, you know, that's the beautiful thing about the English language, that, you know, or just language in general, is it's not always direct. Like, the words that are laid out are not always direct. Sometimes you say things for, like, comedic value,
like,
or it's supposed to be ironic, or you might say something that's sort of like, it's not actually your opinion. You're just putting a group of words out there that, you know, that's supposed to be like
take my wife, please.
Yeah.
So I look to see. She looking at me.
Another example of that censorship thing that you know the comedian Bill Burr, you know him?
I think so.
Okay, he's a comic that's, you know, getting really big right now.
Uh-huh.
But he has this thing on his podcast. He was talking about this bar in Boston where he's like from that area.
Okay.
And they had a sign on there, and it was just meant to be funny.
Okay.
You know, that's all it was. But they had a sign in the bar, and it said, "We like our beer." We like our beer like we like our violence, domestic.
That's good. All right, that's good.
And it was just a joke, right?
It is. Come on.
It's just a joke.
Well, he didn't catch no flack for that, did he?
Well, it wasn't Bill Burr. He just knew the bar, and
Okay.
Someone snapped a photo of it, put it on Facebook. The sign's probably been there for 30 years. No one had an issue with it. And then it became this big deal, and they had to take the sign down and all this kind of stuff. And, you know, the point that Bill Burr was making when he was talking about it is like, was someone going to read that sign and think, you know, that's a good idea. I think I will go home and assault my wife. That sounds, sure. You know, I didn't know until I saw this sign. I didn't realize that was something I could do.
I got another example, but I can't say it on your show. But I'll tell you.
You can't even like water it down.
Okay, I'm trying to. Okay. It's not bad,
okay.
But you know, like you just got done talking about something. Somebody's gonna hear that. And go, did you hear that? You know,
that's okay. Let him.
We were in this southern state. That's on the invade. Headed for another southern state.
Yeah, I can think of a few of those.
About 13 of them last I checked. Let's see them narrow it down.
The real 13 colonies.
It said that it was some kind of barbecue joint. It said that so and so's barbecue. Nobody can beat our meat. Irony.
Yeah.
Before all the complaints start. Irony.
That's funny. I like that. So, like, I don't know. Like, to me, that is the only real answer. The only real answer to bad things in the world is to find them funny, I think.
Yeah. You can, if there is any kind of ignorance.
It's not to marginalize something bad. Like that
you
shirt.
call it out.
Yeah, like that shirt you told me about you saw when you were in Iraq that said my kid is the bomb.
Baghdad University. Yeah. My kid's the bomb.
Yeah. Yeah. Like the one way to look at it is like, that's marginalizing the horrific, war crimes and atrocities that are going on over there.
Yeah.
And the other way to look at it is like these things are going on anyways. So why not find a way to deal with it?
I think you have to really look hard to take that in a non-funny way.
Yeah, it's funny.
Like I saw this one T-shirt on one site. This guy, it showed the Pillsbury Doughboy with a Hitler mustache with his hands up in a Nazi salute. It said "White Flower." White Flower.
That's funny. Oh man!
Oh my God!
It's like a friend of mine. You met him, Jeremy. He used to edit the show for me back in the day, and he had this shirt that was it was a picture. I forget which combination it was now. I think it was a picture of Bob Marley and it said Jimi Hendrix, or it was the other way around. And it's like a joke T-shirt, And he said he would like wear that thing and people give him these weird looks like does he not know?
Don't think if you know. So yeah, you gotta be able to take a joke. I mean, you avoid a lot of problems that way.
Yeah.
And we have enough anger already in the world, so let's take a joke. It's fine.
Yeah.
Hey, I mean.
Yeah, I get tired of the censorship. Just like how when it comes to the justice system, I would rather see guilty people, like a higher percentage of guilty people, go free. Cat just joined us.
What happened to your cat, dude?
Oh yeah. Teddy, come here.
Yeah, I was about to say you got to get him over there.
Teddy, come here.
I mean, your cat actually comes when you call him. Dude. Okay.
Yeah. Okay. So he's a really long-haired cat, and when his hair gets too long, he can't take care of it. So then it gets like dreadlocks, basically. Okay. and he starts spitting up hairballs everywhere. So we have to get him groomed, and they do what's called the lion cut, which is pretty funny. Well, basically, it's just the only reason they do it is just because it's easier to shave the body, not the head. Yeah, it's just a coincidence that he looks like a lion now.
Okay, yeah, a smaller, grayer.
Yeah. Yeah. What was I talking? Oh yeah, I was saying. Like with the justice system, I would rather see guilty people go free than innocent people have to go to jail. I would rather see. You know what I'm saying?
I won't see anybody framed for something they didn't do.
Right. So I would rather that the justice system is more. It errs on that side than anything else. And I kind of see censorship the same way. Like I would rather see things that truly are hateful being allowed to exist. Mm-hmm. I would rather see that than people who are just trying to be creative and aren't being hateful, being censored because they're afraid of what people might say, and
it restricts creativity.
Right, exactly, and that's something that's going on. The big talk lately, and it's sort of blown out of proportion to an extent, but on YouTube, so there's been a big deal on YouTube where advertisers, people that are advertising on YouTube, like those ads you see in the beginning of the videos, are freaking out because their ads are showing up on what they consider hateful content. Right, and now it's YouTube. Anybody can upload a video. obviously there's some very awful, hateful stuff on YouTube. There has to be, right?
It's human nature.
Yeah. So I can see why you might not want your ad running in front of that. But the problem is this little bitty, tiny, itty bitty minority of hateful people on YouTube is now causing an enormous amount of grief for everybody.
It's not proportional to the grief you're causing. Is not proportional to what their actual effect is.
Right. So they're demonetizing a lot of YouTube videos just in case they might be hateful. Like, for example, a while back, I had a video on this channel demonetized. Right? You remember you told your Nazi basement story about that guy? Which if you you're listening to the show and you haven't heard the story, he's already told it like 8 times, so you got to go back and look it up. But I
don't think anybody left.
Yeah,
remember that one guy in New Guinea? Maybe.
Yeah. He was like, wait, what happened in the Nazi basement? But I made a video just of that story and uploaded it separately so people could watch it, and I called it Nazi basement story, right?
Pretty clear to the point. I mean,
it wasn't clickbait. That's what it was about. You know, it was a story about a Nazi basement. You know, and but that video got demonetized just because the word Nazi. So like they have these robots. It's not actual people sitting down and listening to it and going like, "Oh, this is hateful content." It's just a robot. So it's like
on certain words. Yeah.
Right. Exactly. So that's the problem where you might have a video that's like actual like Aryan propaganda, and then you have another video that's the opposite, but the title might be similar or something. You know what I mean? So it's like that's the problem. You know?
Well, yeah, we got them robots out there editing videos. I mean, Big Brother's here.
Yeah,
he ain't coming. He's here. Hey,
yeah. Dude. Which I saw. I can't remember what it's called now, but I saw there's some new Tom Hanks movie coming out about like this tech company that's like getting really powerful and sort of taking over the world, and I was like, oh, they're finally making a Google movie.
That's right. They're having a Google movie, man. Yeah, come on, of course. Hey, Stephen Hawking said that the biggest threat to mankind is not nuclear holocaust; it's AI, artificial intelligence.
Yeah,
I believe. Hey,
or maybe it helps us. Okay. How crazy would that be if AI comes around? They're like, "Whoa, what are you guys doing all this stuff for? You guys need to chill out." You know?
You see the Matrix? Okay. Yeah. Agent Smith is gonna be knocking at your front door.
Yeah.
Hey,
and you try to kill him, and you just end up killing some innocent person that he was like embodying. You know?
Exactly. So Agent Smith is out there.
Yep.
So your lion cat is like, whoa, dude.
We need to have his like hair dyed so actually looks like a lion.
Dude. So.
Yeah. But yeah, so that's been a big deal on YouTube lately. There's a fear that a lot of channels are going to be demonetized, not able to make money through Google AdSense because of that, and people are afraid they're going to single out gun channels and all this kind of stuff, and I don't know how to feel about it. I feel like at this point people are jumping the gun.
Yeah.
It's some of the stuff I've seen out there about it, I think it's a little over dramatic, but
anytime anything like that arises, people kind of get a little bit jumpy.
Yeah.
Because you never know. I mean, you should be concerned.
Right.
But let's wait and see.
But there has been a couple of things at least one thing I know of that's real that has happened. There's this guy, he's a German guy. I don't know how to pronounce the name of his YouTube channel. He's a really cool guy. He's in Germany. He even did like a tribute video for us one time, and he makes slingshots like basically like different various like projectile weapons that are not guns, basically.
Okay.
Slingshot. I think it's even called the Slingshot channel or something like that. And he builds all these really elaborate guns out of wood and stuff. It's really cool, the stuff that he does. It's really neat. But he apparently posted a video on this stab-proof vest. It's like a bulletproof vest, but it's like a stab-proof vest, And he got in all this trouble in Germany for some reason. I don't know a ton about the story yet, but he got in all this trouble. People came out to his house, and like the news came out to his house, and like I think it's the Daily Caller or something, one of those like
online papers,
newspapers like it's kind of over across the pond, made some big deal out of it and all this kind of stuff, and it's just I don't know, it's getting kind of weird.
About a vest, what?
Yeah. That's the other thing is a bulletproof vest. I don't get why
and dangerous.
Yeah, the whole thing is like, oh well, people are going to be wearing those vests, and the cops can't take out the bad guys or whatever. But
okay, proper term, bullet resistant.
Right? Yeah.
Stab resistant, because nothing is bulletproof.
No, nothing.
No, nothing is.
Yeah, maybe an M1 Abrams tank.
Maybe.
Yeah. Yeah.
So you never know. So no. So don't let.
Yeah.
So I think that just the terminology again can scare the hell out of people.
Right.
Bulletproof, no. Bullet resistant, yes. Stab proof, no. Stab resistant, yes.
Right. Yeah. Exactly. I would say it's probably easier to make something stab proof than bulletproof.
Oh yeah. Back to what we talked about one time before, like in England, Britain, guns are outlawed, but
sort of, yeah, mostly.
Mostly. Well,
compared to here, they might as well be, yeah.
That's right. But you can't carry a 1911 in London, England.
No.
But what the hell?
Not if you're a cop, probably.
Well, they have armed police, but you have to call for them.
That's like their SWAT team. It's just
we got a problem. We need armed police out here, so they have to respond out there. Yeah. So,
like that stabbing or whatever.
Yeah,
that happened.
There were no armed police, around. They had, there's a problem. Get me some armed police out here. Yeah. They're out there patrolling around, waiting. Now they use the heck out of some baton tasers and all that. Yeah. But what was I gonna say? But knife violence is as bad as some of the weapons violence we have here. Yeah, they don't have guns, but they have crap load of knives. Yeah. So, yeah,
ballistic knives.
Oh, ballistic knives. Yeah.
That's one of the corniest weapons. I feel like is a ballistic knife.
Which I find it, which is seeing that gun laws in England are the way they are. Band of Brothers was filmed in England.
Yeah, that's right.
I mean, dude, they
fake guns probably.
well, they were real guns, firing blanks. So.
Yeah,
firing blanks.
Yeah. I know that they I'm not allowed, I told you about some. We're finally about to shoot it. I'm not allowed to talk about it much. Of
course.
It sounds, me saying that sounds way more interesting than it actually is. It's not that interesting, but Dad and I are about to be in this movie. It's not a big movie at all.
Oh, what?
It's very small, but.
What, no Tom Hanks?
No,
Russell Crowe?
No,
Some good promotion right there.
Yeah. It is. So anyways,
Scarlett Johansson, you're gonna have a shield, with a star on it. Yeah, dude, you just said something, man.
Yeah. But I learned from the guy that's producing the movie that they don't allow real guns on the set anymore. And so, like, you can't have real guns shooting blanks anymore. They have to be like.
How does that work then? They look pretty real to me. I mean,
they're like special made guns.
Is it like those airsoft guns?
Probably some of that, and they actually make replica guns. I think
they don't fire ammunition. Yeah.
There's some guns that I think they fire like some kind of gas cartridge where it creates a muzzle flash.
Airsoft,
and blowback. Well, yeah, that too. But
I've seen those. I saw one of those stores at Bragg. You have to. It was an M4 and a SCAR. You had to pick it up and hold it this close to tell it wasn't real.
Oh, some of them are crazy realistic.
I mean, you're like just you couldn't tell it wasn't a real gun. There was no way.
Yeah, they're pretty neat. I've actually thought about getting into that a little bit. We need to do that sometime. There's a place in Nashville where you can do it. Not that we're anywhere near that area.
So that's about 6 hours from here, ain't it?
Yeah.
But I saw some of those guys, airsoft guys. Okay, one thing, it kind of got my attention. I saw on YouTube these guys in Europe.
We have an audience now, by the way.
Oh yeah,
there's there's all these there's a huge people can't see this, but there's like a bunch of bleachers right here.
It's a studio audience out there. Yeah, and, whole crew back there. Yeah. But I saw these dudes in Europe dressed up as the 82nd. In desert uniform, 82nd, and doing their airsoft thing. I'm like, dude, if you're gonna go to all that trouble, I mean, and their gear was just right there. I mean, they were fully equipped. Yeah, I mean, they look just like the real thing. I'm like, dude, if you're gonna go to all that trouble, just join.
Oh yeah,
jump. Well, I mean, hey,
but then you might die though.
Yeah, I know. You just can't quit when you want to. Then. Yeah. Okay. Exactly. 3:30. Okay, dudes, back to the house.
See, airsoft is the best of both worlds. You get to shoot at people all the time, and no one dies.
And I see some of these guys; they are fully equipped. You couldn't tell they weren't. First Special Forces group.
Yeah. You know what? It's dare I say this? Mm-hmm. Some of those guys they're really serious in the airsoft stuff. might actually has a little bit of combat, knowledge to an extent.
I've heard. Don't know that this is a big place down south of what's that place in South Central Tennessee? There's a big place down there.
Yeah,
they're real big on airsoft. I've heard the Army guys go down there. And they'll actually use real tactics, use it to practice real tactics down there.
That would be interesting to see a match between like actual real veterans and then like really hardcore airsoft guys that have never been in the military, and just kind of see how they stack up.
Good.
Of course, it's still not a perfect experiment because it's airsoft at the end of the day. You know that it's
I get hit, I'll just get up and walk off.
Yeah, exactly. So I know that changes everything, but
these contractors told me that you always have to practice with live ammo. If you're a contractor, you always need to practice live ammo because blanks, airsoft,
it feels different.
It's not the same. Live ammo, okay, yeah, we got the feel for it now. Yeah,
right.
So,
but I would think there'd be some value though, because obviously you can't shoot at each other with live ammo. So there's got to be some value in that.
You can get the rhythm down, the motions down, but when it comes to actual live fire training, you can't beat that.
Yeah, and one thing I know, like. I haven't done a lot of training or anything, but most of the shooting I do, it's like you just stand there. There's some targets, plink, plink, plink. Whereas if bullets are actually flying, putting your head up over that cover is going to feel a little different.
And you're just slightly more alert.
Yeah. So if you're playing airsoft, maybe it gives you some idea of that.
It's for the train up, for the run through. But I think I have to agree. There is no substitute for live fire type training.
Yeah.
There's no substitute. Which I hate to say it, the SS. They did it. All their training was live fire. They believed you trained the way you fight. Now we say that, but at the same time, we believe in safety.
Right.
Safety, which is a good point. You can't lose guys
in training. Yeah.
But there are some countries in the world that still believe in live fire training, everything. And they feel like some of these countries, they feel like casualties are just part of the game.
Yeah.
You wouldn't be allowed to do some of the things they do in some of these Western countries. You would not be allowed to do some of the training, live fire training that some of these foreign countries do.
Yeah.
I understand what they're saying. There is no substitute for realism, but you just can't lose people not like that.
Yeah. So. I heard, who knows if this is true or not. It's probably not, but I heard from somebody one time that there's a certain special unit in America that I won't say in case it's true which one it is, but like that supposedly like part of their training is they go through like a shoot house, and their fellow team members are actually like sitting in a chair, and then they have like targets up over their shoulder, and they have to come through and like shoot targets.
I've heard that, but that was about SAS.
Okay,
same story, but it was SAS, which I know they do that.
They do that.
SAS.
Okay.
They do with the supposed hostage sitting right there, and
but it's like a real dude.
It's a real person, and they live fire around him. But which I can believe that if you train and shoot as much as they do. It's just second nature to you. It's just second nature.
And you're not going to be like trying to cut down your times or anything.
No.
Like that,
smooth. You get to the point where it's just second nature. You do it without even thinking.
Yeah.
That's a lot of shooting though.
Yeah.
That's a lot of shooting. And it's none of this stuff that we do. Well, once every other month I go out there and shoot 10 rounds.
Yeah. I shoot a ton, but it's always like different guns all the time. I'd like to eventually when I have I can live kind of in a neighborhood right now in where are we saying that we live right now?
South of Warsaw.
Yeah,
Krakow.
Something like that. Yeah.
Krakow, yeah.
So I have to go out to the compound to shoot guns. But at some point when I have my own place to shoot, near my house, I'd like to practice more like one gun, everything. But shooting a lot of guns, it still makes you better. It's not quite the same as if you had one gun. You're constantly practicing with that one gun, all the time because you're having to readjust to different
each
stuff all
weapon's a
the
little
time.
bit different, especially when you go handgun, rifle.
Yeah.
Subgun, submachine
right,
gun.
Yeah.
Every weapon shoots differently. So
but still sometimes like the other day I shot it was a Dad's World War I reproduction, 1911.
Okay.
It's just kind of like revisiting an old friend. It's like, oh yeah, you take a few shots and I remember this now.
Yes. Tis good. Oh yeah. On that point, I'd like to point out something. I found these.
10 rounders,
10 round magazines for 1911. Thank you for all you guys out there who like that capacity thing.
Yeah.
We talked about on a former show that most of your real world shoots are only 3 to 5 rounds maybe. But a lot of people just feel better having that capacity. Well, 10 plus 1.
That's nice.
Good to go, dude.
Yeah, 11 chances.
11. So you got plenty of ammo, by God.
Yeah.
What's that for? Glock 40? She's what? 13?
The Glock 21 is what you're thinking of. Yeah.
Sorry, Glock 40 caliber. Okay, it's an Austrian weapon. I don't know anything about those.
Well, they confused everybody because there's a Glock 40 caliber.
Okay, that's what I was
which is which is the model numbers are like the 23, the 22, and the 27 of the big ones.
Okay,
I think there's a long slide version. I forget what it's called. But then they actually came out with a Glock Model 40. It's called the Glock 40, but it's chambered in 10 millimeter. So it confused everybody because people have been saying Glock 40 for years, and now there actually is a Glock 40 and it's not actually in 40 caliber.
Okay, of course, of course. Okay,
you would think that they would like
simplify it.
Well, I don't know. I get annoyed by guns that are named with marketing names. That annoys me. Like for example, Dad has this gun. It's made by a very high-end 1911 manufacturer called Ed Brown, and they make very nice guns. They're expensive, but very nice. Kind of guns where you could just shoot them to death and they'll just keep running forever. You know, and they're in the category of like the Wilson Combats and the Nighthawks and those and stuff. But it's called Special Forces, and it's kind of like, come on, somehow it takes a little bit of the class out of the gun because it makes it seem like. Like a squirt gun or something. Special Forces Magnum, I don't know.
I saw something along those lines that I think Smith & Wesson, M&P makes it, 1911, the Trooper.
I think so.
Something like that, state trooper weapon or
that's right. There's a revolver called that's a Colt. There's a Colt Trooper, but yeah, I know what you mean.
It's marketing. It's clearly a marketing ploy.
And some of them are not too bad, but I don't know, like. I get kind of annoyed, with some of those names. Like I like companies like, like Glock. They just give them a number.
Yeah.
Springfield does pretty good usually. They just say like the XD. It's just called the XD 9 or XD 40 or whatever. Daniel Defense ARs. It'll just be the Daniel Defense version 4 or something. V4 or whatever, something like that. Or like that AR you have, the Warfighter.
Yeah.
Not a big fan of that name. Like that's kind of.
Well, the area where that company is, I think that's gonna be a big score.
Yeah.
Oh God.
Oh, well, that reminds me. That reminds me of a story. I don't know if you heard about this or not, but there was a police officer involved shooting where a guy, I can't remember where it was, but he shot a guy with an AR, and I think the shooting was. I'm not going to say because I don't know if it was justified or not. I'm thinking maybe it was, but the issue was. On the dust cover, like they make these custom dust covers.
Yeah.
You know what I'm talking about? On the inside, and it'll say something. I can't remember what it said
also
now.
Also for the railing, they got the little. It's AR Customs. AR Customs. That's the company.
Yeah, and there's probably a few that.
I didn't mean to plug them on your show.
No, it's okay.
But
it's okay. But they, what did it say?
Something. Okay.
Yeah. It was something kind of.
Yeah. I saw one. Well, you gotta be careful about that because what'll happen is if you blast somebody with one of those provocative statements,
right?
Then the prosecution, if they try to prosecute you, they're gonna say, "You see that?
Yep.
See that? You're born to kill, written on his dust cover.
Yeah.
He was plotting to use that weapon."
Yeah, and honestly, I can see that defense.
Yeah.
That's
why you have to be careful.
Right.
Like I've heard this. I hate to say it, yes, but I will. Carrying that 1911 in position 3. Hammerback round chambered. It's been said that someone tries that there was a shooting with a 1911, and he carried it the same way I did, position 3, rounded chamber, hammerback, safety on. Someone tried to say, well, you were walking around with the intent to use that weapon. My argument would be, well, I ain't got time to be pulling weapons out, chambering rounds.
Well, and that's how the police carry them. If they carry a 1911, that would be your defense there.
There's no time for all that, And this is going to go Israeli, which the way they carry Glocks, with empty, and as they're presenting the weapon, they chamber around.
Oh yeah, which it's not terrible, I guess, but they're usually probably not just by themselves.
Yeah,
I would think.
And in the time it takes them to do that, there's no real loss of time when they pull it
Yeah.
from their appendix position and present it.
Right.
There's no real loss in time.
Yeah.
So,
but we hate to think that like something like that might be an issue in court. Something on your gun or whatever.
They can say anything.
But it is something you should think about. I feel like
True.
In reality, those kind of things they seem bad, but really it's just kind of like. Like I'm not a veteran, but I imagine it's kind of like a veteran thing. Like you have to be a veteran to get it, and I sort of get it. It's kind of like having to kill someone is a terrible thing.
Yeah.
And just like we were talking about earlier, sometimes you make jokes about things to kind of like smooth out something that's kind of uncomfortable, and that's sort of in that same vein, but. The average person is not going to understand that.
No.
The jury of your peers is not going to get that.
So in that case you're talking about, it said you're effed on there.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, so
I
that's
just
pretty
looked it up.
bad.
Okay.
So the lawyer said that shows that he's enthusiastic about killing people.
Okay.
So,
Yeah.
I don't know.
Well, it's like there's an AR that the lower receiver has a shape of a skull.
Yeah, and I saw one of those things that go on the railings, one of those rail panels that said, the one I'm going to get, it said, if found on the ground, pick up and keep killing zombies.
Oh, yeah. See, that's okay. That's zombies,
Yeah. Oh, well, that's fine. Oh,
Yeah.
there's a zombie lawyer out there going, hey, did you hear that? Big John said.
Zombies aren't real. It's okay.
Okay, well, as
Not
far
yet.
as we know. You never know now. I mean,
Yeah. I know there's one that says, like, it's like at the end of the barrel, you can have something that says, smile and wait for the flash or something like that. So,
well, okay, understand. A prosecutor a prosecuting attorney can say anything, and
Right.
a lot of times they do.
Yeah.
What you do as a defendant is like make it very plain that that this is why I did what I did. This is the reasoning, the rationale behind it. That no, I did not pick up my weapon with the intent. I did not have the weapon with the intent of going out and eliminating this person. They were doing whatever they were doing, and I had to eliminate the threat. That was the intent. I didn't wake up this morning saying, I'm gonna go out there and shoot somebody. No, that was absolutely not the intent. Now, the prosecution will try to portray that. Now, like if you're ever unfortunate enough to be involved in any kind of shooting, you don't want to have that death. You don't want to have that death before dishonor T-shirt.
Yeah.
That's not the time. No,
Right, yeah.
Or the skull with a snake coming out, No. Don't tread on me. No. No, that's not the time. No.
No.
But
That's why I don't know, there's several reasons, but like I don't wear a lot of gun shirts.
Yeah.
Usually, part of the reason is because it's sort of like open carrying in a way.
Yeah.
If you wear, I do sometimes, but I try not to too much.
It depends on which shirt you wear.
Yeah, it depends on what it is. But like, there's a lot of like I have a couple of shirts that are like a federal shirt that I'll wear sometimes. And if you know guns, like that's ammo or whatever.
Yeah.
That dude probably has a gun. But some of them they're like very hardcore gun shirts, and they're cool. They're funny or cool ideas and stuff. But
cold dead hands.
Yeah,
you got
exactly.
one of those.
Yeah. No, I don't. I do have the ATF shirt though. What is it? The alcohol, tobacco, firearms. Who's bringing the chips? You never heard that? That's great.
Okay, but I remember that song, that scene from the original Red Dawn with Patrick Swayze when the Russians invade that Colorado town. And the guy has the pickup truck with the bumper sticker. You can have my gun when you pry from my cold dead hands. It shows the Russian guy stepping on the guy's hand, taking a 1911 off his hand, sticking his belt, walking off. I thought, hey, he went out like a champ.
Yeah, sure did.
Hey.
Speaking of that, have you seen the last? Well, I don't want to give any spoilers, but have you seen the last episode of Walking Dead?
Yeah.
I liked it. Did you not like it?
Yeah. Okay. All I can say, I hope next October's better.
Yeah.
I'm not.
I liked it. I thought it was. There was a point in the season where I kind of felt like it was going in a, I don't know, not my favorite direction.
Yeah.
But then I felt like the last 2 or 3 episodes, it kind of, I don't know, I liked how it happened.
A lot of convenient things happen.
Oh yeah.
Hey, I need guns. Hey, we find a bunch of guns. We need ammo. If we need ammo, oh look, there's a warehouse full of ammo.
Yeah.
Kind of convenient.
Yeah.
But
hey,
okay.
it's a story about zombies. Come on. It's supposed to be fun, not realistic. If you want realistic, read a book.
And what's his name? The bad guy got away. We went 40 people firing fully automatic at him. he gets away out without a scratch. The guy with the, hey, just a little bit convenient.
I like the symbolism though when he like was sharpening the stick, just like because it was like his thing for so long. He's like he won't kill anyone, But he's a cool character. It's interesting how that character has kind of evolved throughout the show.
Yeah, exactly.
But he was very annoying at times when he was going through that.
What's his name?
Yeah, I can't remember his name.
Yeah, the black guy, right? With
the stick. Yeah,
Morgan.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah,
yeah.
He was like one of the first characters in the show.
Yeah. He could kill his wife. Hey, no offense to anybody, but if they're a zombie, that's mercy. That's mercy, right?
Exactly. Yeah.
What? This is not what? Let you walk around, let bugs eat you? What? You do the same for me. Come on.
Yep.
There'll be none of that. Oh, now I can't, dude.
It's not them anymore. They're just.
I'm not a zombie, dude. My jaw fell off. I'm not a zombie. Do it, man. Do it. But if I'm talking to you, don't.
Yeah.
Like that. Like if I
Zombieland.
No. Like if I'm going out, that mercy killing thing. Yeah, I want to. If I'm laying there in the bed going, no, don't kill me. No, it's not a mercy killing.
He's just delirious.
It's it's murder.
I love that. It's like heartbreaking but awesome at the same time. That scene in Zombieland.
Yeah. Good.
Yeah, when
Which
I just had an ultimate brain fart. His name.
Zombie. What's his name? He was Lex Luthor. And
well, yeah, him. But I can't believe I just drew a blank on his name.
Not Woody Harrelson.
No, the dude that's hilarious. Been in a million movies.
Okay. There's
the Ghostbusters guy. Why can I
in Zombieland?
Why can I think of his name?
Zombieland.
Yeah.
Bill Murray.
Yeah, Bill Murray. Yeah. I should be shot for not remembering his name.
Eisenberg, Jesse Eisenberg.
Yeah.
Woody Harrelson, and yeah.
Yeah, but he gets shot, in the movie. Spoiler alert.
Well, because he that's what you get for trying to prank Jesse Eisenberg.
Yeah, don't pretend to be a zombie in a real zombie environment.
You let him have that gauge at close range.
Yeah.
Woody Harrelson, I don't think we're gonna be able to stitch this up.
Yeah. That was such a great movie.
It was great.
It really was.
Came out of nowhere.
It did, and with like that's one of those movies that could easily be okay, but what makes a great comedy like that, it sort of I guess falls in the dark comedy category.
Yeah,
where it just has the perfect formula of like dark ironic humor and a combination of serious things. They just all kind of work together where it just makes it.
Yeah, okay. Well, okay. Yeah, you're right. Don't get too analytical.
Yeah.
But where was everybody else? Was it just these four people, riding around?
Yeah.
I like Zombie Killer of the Week. I did like that. Zombie Killer. And what Woody Harrelson with his.
And it started with a Metallica song. So when I first saw that movie, I was just like, all right, I'm immediately sold on this movie. I haven't seen it in forever. I need to watch it.
There's supposed to be a Zombieland 2. I read that years ago. They were going to make another one.
Yeah.
But I think Jesse Eisenberg is too busy making the Superman sequels now.
Oh, yeah.
So he landed Lex Luthor. So
yeah. Are they doing a Facebook movie sequel?
They are? I don't know. I think they'll have an actual movie.
But
that would be great. But how are you going to top Zombieland?
Yeah, it'd be tough.
Yeah.
I don't know. You get some guys back in there. Or Woody Harrelson's. Jesse whatever Eisenberg. He was cool, but I mean, Woody Harrelson made the movie.
Oh yeah. Well, Tallahassee. Yeah.
Yeah. And he had that mare's leg, that lever action.
And when he was in the ticket booth killing the zombies with 2 1911s. By God.
Yeah.
My God. Hell, in the snakeskin jacket.
Yeah.
Cowboy hat. Heck yeah.
Woody Harrelson is just great.
That's great. Hey.
He's something else.
Yeah. But he's got the what's the last one? The big one he was in. With the what's her name with the arrow?
Yeah.
Hunger Games.
Hunger
Games.
Yeah.
He got the Hunger Games now.
He was good in those movies. Yeah.
They've all moved on to bigger stuff now.
Yeah.
Except what's her name? The girl.
Oh yeah, she sort of got pushed out by Jennifer Lawrence. I feel like,
Yeah,
like Jennifer Lawrence is like the new whatever she was.
Yeah, she's new it girl. Yeah,
yeah.
And Scarlett Johansson's making a comeback. So now, sorry, whatever your name was. Yeah, what was your name again, lady? Yeah.
Which that reminds me, a movie that a lot of people didn't like for some reason. That I thought was good was Passengers. Did you ever see that?
No.
It's good. It's worth, if you can find it cheap somewhere, it's worth watching.
Okay, what's it about?
Basically, the premise is they're on the ship and they're going to like another Earth-like
Oh
planet.
yeah. With what's his name from
Chris Pratt, the guy from Jurassic Park.
And what's the other one? Guardians of the Galaxy.
Yeah.
And which that part 2, volume 2 is coming out.
Oh yeah, it looks pretty cool. Yeah.
So again, they're cashing in. Come on.
Yep. But it was a pretty cool movie. Like basically the premise is, and no big spoilers or anything. The premise is like, it's going to take them like over 100 years to get there. So they're in hibernation, so they're not going to actually age. And then something goes awry, and Chris Pratt's thing, like he wakes up. So he's in this ship. It's like a cruise ship. It's like this paradise, basically. And he's just there by himself, So he goes crazy and loses it. And then he wakes up Jennifer Lawrence.
Of course, yes. Who could I wake up, the janitor or Jennifer Lawrence?
Right, yeah, exactly.
Yeah, of course.
And so it's kind of interesting because it's like, are you going to live out the rest of your life alone?
Something was wrong, right?
There
was something. Okay,
yeah, there's a problem.
Don't spoil the movie, but
no, yeah, you have to watch it. But it's a good movie.
All right. Yeah, I'm thinking waiting for the next Jurassic Park.
Yeah.
Which was Jurassic World. That was the last one.
Right. Yeah.
Okay. Again, that is exactly what would happen if dinosaurs ever came back. That's exactly what happened. Let's make a park.
Yep.
That people will pay to come see these things, and one's gonna get out.
Yeah. I'm still waiting for Iron Sky 2. That's what I want to see.
What's that?
So Iron Sky was like, to me, it's one of my favorite like B grade movies ever.
Okay.
I think I may have explained it on the show before. You gotta watch it if you haven't seen it. So here's the premise, right? Everything up until World War II is the same. After World War II is when this universe sort of gets weird. So after World War II, when we defeated the Nazis in this movie, the Nazis fled to the moon. And they built a swastika-shaped moon base. literally a giant swastika on the moon, right? And they start raising like a new Hitler Youth up there.
That's right.
And so Sarah Palin is the president,
of course,
and of the United States.
Okay.
And she decides to reinstate the space program.
Okay.
And send someone to the moon again. So they send some Americans to the moon.
Okay.
They go to the moon, and the Nazis see the Americans on the moon.
Okay.
And they're like, they've found us out. They've discovered us. And so they prepare this big invasion.
Of course, Normandy, except it's the moon.
Yeah, to invade the United States.
Oh, okay, all right.
What's cool about the movie, though, it's one of my favorite B grade movies because it's super ridiculous and silly, which is what you expect out of a B grade movie.
Okay.
These days, at least. Now that B grade movies finally became self aware, it only took them 30 years.
I thought Airplane already did it, but go ahead.
Well, yeah, I guess that's true. But so that's cool, but it also has like serious stuff in it too. So it's kind of like underlying. You know what I mean. So it's kind of like a smart movie and a dumb movie at the same time. So it's really cool. But there's a sequel to it.
Oh, of course.
And I saw the trailer like a couple years ago. As far as I know, it's not out yet. Maybe it is. I don't know. But it showed Sarah Palin going into some like bunker underground.
Okay.
And she like pushes some button, and she goes into Hollow Earth, and there's like Hitler riding a dinosaur.
Of course. Of course.
So it looks cool.
I saw this movie, Little Nicky. And,
Yeah.
What's his name in it?
Adam Sandler.
Yeah, and he's the devil's son.
Yeah.
And so it happened to Hitler. Every day at 4:00.
Oh, the pineapple. Yeah.
That's right.
What was the comedian that was down there? What's his name?
Oh man.
Who is it? What's his name? Was in it?
The guy played the devil.
The I get no respect. I tell you that guy.
That wasn't.
He was in it.
Rodney
wasn't he?
Dangerfield. No,
what Dangerfield wasn't in it?
He may have been in it, but he wasn't It was
No, he wasn't the devil. I know.
It was a big name actor that.
Your comments, people let you know they were letting you know about Bill Murray.
Oh, yeah.
Give them about 2 seconds, and they'll be all over it.
What was Rodney Dangerfield in Little Nicky? I haven't seen that movie in forever.
Adam Sandler.
I'm working on it.
Who was that? Who was the devil?
Rodney Dangerfield's great.
Oh god! And the devil guy. He was a big name actor. He was in Kill Bill. Pulp Fiction. He was, the Wolf.
Yeah. That's right. Yeah.
Yeah, it was Rodney Dangerfield was the devil.
No.
That's what it says, right?
No, not in Little Nicky. No.
I'm sorry.
No.
It
wasn't.
I
Yeah.
retract.
It was like the friend or something. Yeah.
The devil's friend.
It doesn't have many friends.
Oh yeah, he's pretty much of a loner. I'm pretty sure. I'm pretty sure.
Which, speaking of that, again, I just had another incredible brain fart. I always have lots of brain farts on this show. But I was hoping I would come up with his name again. A great comedian died a couple of days ago.
I thought Don Rickles.
Don Rickles, yeah. That's right. I was like, I could not call up his name.
Nah, he's bad. He was hanging on for a long time. Dude.
Oh man, 90 years old.
Yeah, dude.
He was friends with Frank Sinatra.
He was in what's that movie? Clint Eastwood.
Kelly's Heroes. Yeah,
Kelly's Heroes. Yeah. And
I told I did a comedy show last night, and I wanted to do sort of like a tribute to him. So I told this story that he told on Jimmy Fallon. And it's one of my favorite stories that I heard from him. He was really good friends with Frank Sinatra.
Yeah.
So this was like in the 70s, and they were in Vegas. And he was, with some girl. They were like, whatever. He was going to dinner with some girl, right? Yeah. And he told Frank, he's like, hey man, wait a little bit, but later, like, come over to our table and say hi. Okay. He's like, because if you do, I'm definitely like getting in there, Okay. And it's Frank Sinatra,
Yeah.
So
for those of you who remember who Frank Sinatra is, I don't know how old your audience is, but he was a big guy back in the 40s, 50s. Yeah.
If Frank Sinatra knows you could do pretty much anything.
Yeah, you're good to go.
Yeah. Yeah. So he's eating dinner and everything, and sure enough, we're eating dinner with this girl, and then Frank, kind of saunters over, He's like, hey, how's it going, or whatever, and he's like, come on, Frank, I'm trying to eat dinner here. I told you to wait in the car, something like that. So it's like he set him up on this to
don't bother me. I told you.
Meanwhile, probably looking super impressive, even more impressive, because he's like pissed at Frank Sinatra.
That guy's always bothering me. Excuse me, I'm sorry. That'd be a problem.
I bet that was so funny. I wish there was like video of when that happened.
God. Oh God! So
yeah, he was great. He was like the classic insult. He could get away with anything.
Well, he was again. Okay, I'm picking my words. He was a Jewish guy, but he says minorities can make fun of minorities, and nobody gets upset. So he said, "Oh yeah, he knocked himself." And anybody else.
Yeah.
And, they gave him a pass. Hey.
Yeah.
Because he was all over Sammy Davis Jr., Dean Martin.
Yeah.
We watched some of those roast.
Some of those are so funny. Yeah.
I mean, you couldn't do it now. Couldn't do it now. It'd be like, what, you said what?
Yeah. Oh. I know. Don Rickles was like, he had the free pass, and that died with him probably.
Have we seen Triumph the Insult Comic Dog?
Oh yeah, that's pretty funny. Yeah,
I ain't seen him in a while. He's still on Conan.
Yeah, they've brought him back and done some stuff with him.
You got to, dude. I think I sent you the one when he did the Housewives of Atlanta.
Yeah. Ridiculous.
It was good.
It's pretty funny. That voice, the cigar. Oh, it's so great. Well, I guess we're getting near the end. There's one other story that I saw that I wanted to bring up before we close the show out. You may have heard about it. It's been like all over Facebook, especially in gun people have been sharing it like crazy.
Okay.
It happened in Oklahoma, so you probably already know what I'm going to say.
Okay, here it comes.
Oklahoma.
Here it comes. Get ready.
Yeah. But these three like kind of teenagers. I guess they were all teenagers. They were like 16, 17, 18, 19, around that range age. Yeah, teenagers. And they three of them broke into this house. One of them had a knife. One of them had brass knuckles, and the other one I guess didn't have a weapon. And the homeowner's son just killed them all with an AR-15. And which 100% legal. If someone breaks into your home, doesn't matter if they have a weapon or not. They have invaded your castle, as it's considered, and that's perfectly justified. And I agree with that because you don't know, like if someone breaks into your house while you're there, like you already get to assume their intent is to do you serious harm.
Again, they forcefully entered your home.
Right. So like that is makes, if anywhere you should be safe, it should be in your home. You know, and that should be a great deterrent for people. You know, like you come into somebody's house, they have a gun, you're dead. Like, it's free range. There's no like, you know, oh, is this the right time to shoot? It's just bam,
That's right.
you are dead.
As a courtesy, you know, like John Wayne said in True Grit. As a courtesy, I'll holler down to them to give up. But when they don't,
I mean, you know, if you can, you know, you got to do something like that. But you know, you don't. If someone broke into your house, like you can't take too many chances. You know?
They forcefully entered your house,
but
you don't know.
Right, but the thing that made it a big story, it seemed like to me, was that the grandfather of one of the kids that was killed came out and said it was unfair. You know, these boys, they did a bad thing. They didn't deserve what happened to them and all this kind of stuff. Well, here's the thing. Like, if death was the appropriate penalty for home invasion, then people who are caught invading someone's home would get the death penalty. So in that sense, I agree. Yeah. Death was not necessarily the appropriate punishment for that. But they didn't get caught and they were punished later. Like, this person didn't know what was going to happen.
Exactly.
So he had to take care of business, and he did what he had to do.
Was he going to ask them what their purposes were?
They came in there with weapons. You know?
Well, they forcefully entered his house on the cover of darkness. What was he supposed to think?
Right.
Was I supposed to have a conversation with him?
Yeah.
Hands up, boys. Stick them up. What?
Yeah, supposedly they did interchange words. I don't know what they were.
Yeah, in most, like the study we talked about, in most cases, the homeowner, the victim, does have a verbal exchange with the intruder. Yeah. Which usually, once the homeowner says, "Hey, I have a gun, get out," usually they take off. Yeah. But apparently these guys didn't do that, or didn't get the chance to.
Yeah, and I've never been in that situation where someone broke into my house, but I guarantee you, it would be very easy for me to make it clear to anyone who broke into my house that their options were leave immediately or you're dead. Because you got the adrenaline flowing, and, you got a handgun, a rifle, a shotgun in your hand,
or both. All three.
Yeah.
You got this image. You hit a button and this rotisserie of weapons comes out. Okay. Yeah. All right. Let's go.
Like that great video that the Matt Best guys made, where like, oh, it's so genius. Where you got to go find it if you haven't seen it. Because they're all veterans, you know.
The old lady comes in there and says, "Hey, somebody's breaking into the house." They all start giving high fives.
They get like really excited. They're like, "Oh man, it's like we've been waiting for this day for so long." And they're like picking out guns and they're
pulling
like,
them out of the vent work, handing them out.
It's so good. Those guys make some great sketches. They're so funny.
So I was going to ask you, you'll make your movie, but I guess you already are.
What? Oh,
the Big John movie. Hey.
Yeah. No.
Dude. Okay. All right. You got no material.
Movies are expensive.
Okay. All right. Dude.
Very expensive. Oh man, it's crazy how expensive movies are.
Well, I think you should get your reality show. If that, what's that girl? Meet Me Outside girl. What's her name?
Meet Me Outside.
What's her name? If she got a reality show, why not you? She got a show.
What if she was like, really? I would like to inquire about further business
with a British accent.
The parking area.
I mean, they're probably just handing out reality shows.
Yeah. Well, here's the thing with someone like that. I think she needs to save her money. Whatever money she's making, she needs to just hang on to that, because, like, with people like that, people like them because they become a phenomenon surrounded by one thing. Yeah. Like, what is she gonna do to continue
to top
that?
Yeah.
You know, what's she gonna do? You know. She's not producing the content. Like this reality show is only going to be interesting to people who really thought that was a crazy and funny video.
I see about maybe 7 episodes, maybe.
It'll be a few, and then people will get tired of it.
Catch Me Outside. Okay, one more time. Catch Me Outside.
Yeah. How many times are you gonna? People get tired of that fast. You got to have something that's repeatable. Yeah. You know, to stay on, not necessarily on top, just to be able to
keep
continue
interest, the whole interest. Yeah.
Yeah, to continue, making money from something like that. So I don't know. I know that there was something with, like, I heard she was selling T-shirts, but she, like, ripped off some font from some company. She got sued or something, you know.
Okay.
But anyways, I thought we could get through a whole show without talking about the Cash Me Outside girl. We didn't make it. There's probably like targets of her. Which, that reminds me of something funny. So when I was a kid, I remember going to a gun shop, and they had a big paper target of Ernest, right? And I was a kid, I loved Ernest,
Of course.
And I was like, Daddy, why do they have a target of Ernest? I was just like so bothered by that, And he was just kind of like, adult things,
Okay.
And then now that I'm older and I've gone back and tried to watch the Ernest movies, it's like I totally get it now.
Of course. I mean,
it's hard to watch.
Same thing. I mean, Ernest or the what's his name? The guy with the he does heartburn commercials now. Get Her Done guy.
Oh, Larry the Cable Guy.
Yeah. That's right. Again.
He was, man, I found him funny for like the beginning of his when he was blowing up, like that Blue Collar Comedy DVD that came out. It was like one of the most successful comedy DVDs of all time. It was funny, I thought. I like the only people I like from those guys still is Jeff Foxworthy and Ron White. Like Larry the Cable Guy ended up being a one-trick pony, and Bill Engvall's, he's okay.
He's okay. Well, like I said, the reality show. Come on, we're playing the long game here. Reality show.
Honestly, if I were to do a TV show, whether it was actually on TV or not, but if it was set up like a TV show, I'd almost rather do some kind of travel show. Those seem fun to me.
Okay, cool.
You know those shows where it's like you travel somewhere and you just do a bunch of crazy different things and test things out. So it's kind of like it would feel a little more familiar because it would be in the same vein of like doing like reviews. You're sort of like going to a place and reviewing the experiences that you're having, but then also it's just kind of a reality show aspect too. That would be fun. I would do that.
Well, you're on the van or in the RV with the wife. And you have real life problems. Okay, now we're done. Let's go out and check this gun factory.
Yeah. Like, we go to Egypt or something to see the pyramids, and ISIS tries to cut our head off.
That's
and it's like, oh, man, this is...
Big John?
Big John.
Hey, come over. Well, sorry, cut you loose. Sorry, we didn't know. We love your dad. We love him. Come on, get him out.
I learned about AK from you.
Come on, he told us everything. He's on the phone. Get down there.
I feel like I'm just like some kind of evil dictator right now, playing this cat in this chair.
Dr. Evil.
Yes.
He's like stolen the show.
Oh,
like
God.
I wish you could see your comments section.
Shit.
They're like, oh man,
nobody cares about what you guys are talking about. They're talking about cats.
Well, you won't steal the audio format of the show.
That's right. Top back.
Yeah, we'll see how popular you are on the iTunes upload.
Follow up, cat.
That's something else I was going to say, but I forgot it. Anyways, I'll save it for the next show. But thanks for doing the show again.
No problem, man.
It was fun. We'll do it again. Before we leave, so you are going to Atlanta.
So far, so good. As long as nothing happens. Okay.
Well, we'll say that probably you'll be in Atlanta. So all the Derrick fans out there.
There's 3 or 4. I think I counted 3 at the last NRA convention.
That's right. Probably 10 this time.
10. Woohoo! Yeah, following, dude.
Which we don't, for people who don't know about the NRA convention, not just randomly somewhere in Atlanta.
Just wander the streets, you'll find it. Don't
the NRA convention, which I imagine is going to be a big one, because it's in Atlanta. It's a big city, and it's in the South.
Deep South, big city. By God, probably rent out that new stadium. Well, the old stadium the Braves used to have. Probably.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
They got a new stadium somehow. Jesus.
That's right. I'm the SunTrust Stadium, right? Never the Braves play.
Up in Gwinnett County. I think it's Gwinnett. It's up there. wherever it is. It's a new stadium. It's smaller than I believe it's, from my understanding, it's smaller than the old Turner Field.
Okay.
But the seats are better because it's smaller and everybody's got a better view. Okay.
Okay. I'm going to see Metallica there in July, actually.
Which one?
At the SunTrust Stadium.
Oh shit. Okay, dude. Now of course they're going to tear down Turner Field and put up some apartments.
Oh yeah. It's like Nashville. Get these old historical buildings
man,
out
get that
of here.
out of the way. Civil War, get out of here.
Yeah.
We need duplexes.
Yeah. Oh yeah, it's crazy the way the apartments are popping up in Nashville.
Yeah. Okay, I'll leave that alone.
We'll leave gentrification for another.
And whatever they ask for, they'll get the money too.
Oh yeah.
Dude.
Yeah, there'll be some people though that owned houses in Nashville that didn't expect to, do as well. Like some house that maybe they paid $250,000 for, or less
30 years
even.
ago?
Yeah, 20 or 30 years ago. And like I heard a story the other day. I can't remember who told me, but it was somebody that got $900. They sold their house for $900,000, and it was like just a regular house. It wasn't like a palatial
anything.
Yeah, like this, they probably paid maybe $250 for it or something like that.
We checked out some of these stories, and some of these duplexes, what the size of this room, they were like $1,300 a month. You gotta be kidding!
Oh
dude.
yeah. That's why we got. Yeah, we were gonna maybe live in Nashville for a little while, but we got out of Dodge.
I mean, that studio apartment, $1,300. You gotta be kidding, dude.
Yeah.
And they're like, crazy. Oh yeah, this is great. We're urban, dude. Get out of here.
Yeah. No thanks.
No.
Not for me. Yeah. All right, man. It was fun,
dude. Thanks.
Appreciate it. All right, don't hit the kill switch yet.
Okay, we'll have that couple of seconds of awkward silence.
Well, because it's
Tell
like,
me when.
Well, I'll explain to him why we're not killing it yet.
Well, it's been a really weird intro, so you'll just have a really weird exit too.
True, yeah, it just comes full circle.
All right, people are commenting bye, so can I kill it?
Yeah, sure. Go ahead. All right, bye everyone.
Bye.
Bye for real this time.